Hello and welcome, and we have
Beast.
it is 17th of April, Easter Sunday, 2022, and I wanted to just begin with good news. Yes, personal to me. Lee's had some good news as well. Do you want to share yours first?
It was just a very minor thing. I rarely talk about my faith to my parents, and it's always been because I just don't want to upset them, and push them in any particular way. They know my views, but without getting too much into it, I've had confirmation today that I believe that my mum and dad are both saved. They believe that they just say to please me. I worded it in a crafty way to try and lead them into opening up a little bit. Because we had, been around earlier on, we had Charlton Heston, 10 Commandments on. So that got a big Easter Sunday as well.
Yeah.
So I asked for guidance, and I asked a couple of questions. So I've got a good feeling now that I believe that if my mum and dad passed away tonight, they're saved.
And that's very
comforting. It's a weight off my shoulders.
Ben-Hur as well, that was a good one with Chuck Heston in it as well.
Sherry,
and that
Sherry
was a Christian-based one as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so something very important for me and Jane. Jane's, as you know, she wouldn't take that and worked in care for many years and resigned because of the circumstances. And she's been such a hard worker, looking, getting a CV, contacting places. She tried a job in a big department store, but that didn't work out. But now she's back in care, in a care home, without having to have this, and it's local. It can be walked to within 15 minutes of the home, so you don't have to worry about expensive taxis or snow and ice in winter. And she's been strong in faith, believing that God would provide. And I'm very, very happy and grateful. She's a good worker, and this has been a big weight off our shoulders. So really thankful. On Friday, just gone, Easter Friday, Good Friday, we had her mother's, Ellen, 80th birthday. 18 members of the family went for a carvery, ended up in our back garden. We had the sunshine and we had some cake and drinks. And we're thankful. She's the real matriarch of the family. She gathers everyone together. She is always looking at ways of bringing the family together. She too is a believer, and she knows where she's going after this brief existence. So yeah, marvellous. And then added to that, my workplace, which is a Christian place, the CEO there, he gave everyone a wage increase for the purpose of dealing with the bills. And over the year, it begins on the 1st of July. Over the year, it will work out around £600, which is a big chunk that you can throw at the bills.
Increase in bills.
Yeah. We may not keep pace with it, but he didn't. The point is, he didn't have to do it.
That's nice.
He didn't have to do it, but nice. He wanted to do it because he saw the need.
Good man.
And and on my YouTube channel, I saw 200 subscribers. I cannot believe it. It's took a while. I've lost a few over the months, but yeah, it's some things I am happy about. And you want to comment on anything particular on that?
Not really, but okay. I'm glad your subscriber count's going up. Yeah,
Bob ones here and there.
Yeah. I'm trying to get rid of subscribers.
Yeah, well,
because I keep saying this. If you don't like what I do, if it upsets you, there are people They don't like it. They've got to argue. That's great. It's a different opinion. Brilliant. That's what it's all about. So I'll listen to anybody.
Yeah.
That's the only way you'll learn.
Yeah.
You know, many times in my life I've been wrong about something and I've had to be put right by somebody else. But it's clear with a lot of people, I'll just roil them. I just roil them.
But the more you rile them, the more subscribers you get.
I know, but it's if it really upsets you, don't watch. Really, there's so many videos, there's so many channels you can choose. Unsubscribe. Don't want you to be upset. Be happy.
Just a couple of news items. In relation to Jane's mother's 80th, regarding old age, driving into work, the news was on, and they commented on the Queen feeling very tired and weary, reflecting on her illness with the ingrown toenails. And this is on, prime time. That's newsworthy to them. Now, hang on a minute. She's tired and weary, and how old is she now? 95?
95. And then I try a bit.
Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, really, is that newsworthy to talk about? All night,
Pushing it all day.
I mean, my dad was 89. He didn't want to get out of bed, really. I mean, just aches and pains when he,
Pushed their agenda right.
Yeah. And again, driving to work, just a funny one. There was a taxi that the guy was all right. The taxi it was burnt out, or the bonnet had blown off. It was completely burnt. He was standing to the side with the police, and everything was all right. But we looked at the side of the name of the taxi. Hotline taxis. Oh dear me. Now,
no such thing as coincidence.
What else? Now, on the 6th of April, there was another little news item that flashed up on my phone. That Zelensky, the president of the Crimea, it is the Crimea, isn't it? It begins with U and K.
I'm not saying the word.
Yeah. Well, he was calling for the Russian chap who his name is put in. He's been put in, and he wanted him to be held accountable for Nuremberg type war crimes, acts against humanity, crimes against humanity, should I say. Now, in reflection of the cases of Mark Sexton and Michael O'Byrne-Sia, and I know the Rainer Fulmish one is probably still ongoing. But in view of that being just tossed to one side by the Met and not really taking of it seriously, or just being stopped by people pulling the strings, how bizarre that he would be calling. But that's all part of what's been going on, isn't it? That's all part of the show. But the fact that he linked those words. No, don't look at that over there. Look at this over here.
Yeah.
Now, an interesting. Now, there has been this programme that takes the interest mainly of ladies, because they talk about it, and it had got back to Jane, and the TV was on. It was called Australian. It's a TV programme, Married at First Sight. It's complete nonsense, but these couples are matched up, and then they interact with one another, this, that and the other, then they all argue, and or this, that and the other. And then you've got the three psychologists sitting there analysing and saying what they should and shouldn't be doing and such and such. Now, it caught my interest as they were kicking off, and so I sat and listened, because this particular lady in it had developed a reputation of being particularly nasty and particularly horrible and she was beginning to be hated, and she'd received death threats and various things. Now, she'd had a big argument with this other lady, and the guy who they'd matched her up with, he says, well, what do you want to do to her? And she, what do you want to do? She says, well, I want to burn her at the stake. And then, with other incidents happening, and before the psychologist, they said, look, we feel that you should have more empathy for this lady. And her face looked bewildered, and she said, I can't. I don't have empathy. And it made me, actually, yeah, and there was a gasp. As Lee just gasped. And she actually said that, and they all looked horrified. Well, I immediately remember what Lee had said on a number of times previously, that this is a psychopathic trait. I'm not saying definitely she is, but it was pretty shocking. Pretty shocking.
And there's television programmes about this.
This was in the TV.
This is entertainment.
Yeah, shocking.
I'll name that condition in one.
Oh, well. And at work, for parcels, we use a group called Hermes. And they've changed their name to Every. And the reason for this, they came last in service quality amongst parcel delivery companies. And so they came last, and they changed the name to Every. And so just one morning it came up on when I went into Hermes, there's Every. And I thought, what's this? Where they got it? They didn't even bother to inform their customers that they changed the name. But here's the thing. I was doing a parcel the other day, and you put the weight in first, and then you come into how you want to send it. Do you want to send it by a courier collection? In other words, they come and pick it up from you. Or it said, and this was something I'd never seen before on it, an eco-friendly service parcel with a green leaf, actually in green colour as a leaf. You can, if you choose to drop it into the parcel shop, and you drop it off, in other words, in like a news agent or the nearest one to where you are. Now I thought to myself, hang on a minute, how is this eco-friendly? Because what's the difference between us getting in a car and taking it to the news agent, or Hermes Every coming to pick it up from us? In fact, if everybody does that, instead of one pick-up from them going to their, one van going to all of them, now all these vans are going to... Can you work it out, though? Do you understand what they're trying to say?
Yeah, it's fashion.
They're jumping on the bandwagon.
Jumping on the bandwagon, yeah, it's fashion, isn't it? It's exactly what it is, I think.
Yeah, and...
they are pretty bad.
Yeah.
I have problems, though. They're not like stairs. I'll leave it there.
I'll leave it there. I have nothing more really to say, other than he is risen, and
amen.
Be blessed. Have a great Easter holiday.
There is one more thing.
Yeah.
I'll just stop like Columbo.
One last thing.
Well, that's it. A meet-up. Who's talking?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Possibility.
Yeah. I mean, we can run it out. Once it's organised, we'll make it more.
Jessica Hamilton, she contacted me. Pass on good wishes to you, Joe, Phil, and Ken, and everybody else. Yeah. But she suggested me meeting up at a neutral place, pub meal, something. I've showed you the text, haven't I? But if we could do that, get into something like Port Merion, like we did last year on your birthday.
Yeah. Yes, that would be
nice.
really good. Yeah. And we're running it past our thought processes where we could actually. It's people. We know many people would like to come.
Yeah.
Sometimes they live in distant regions.
It's asking a lot to come down from Scotland.
Yeah. Where did she suggest anything? Because I have to read that.
No, but she lives in the southeast, so probably somewhere between the Midlands and there, perhaps. But You got to find somewhere that's easy for most people to get to,
That's it. Okay, we'll give it a good thought.
and something that's going to interest people as well. The venue, it's not just having it in a pub or something. You've got to have something going on to interest people, haven't you? And they'll have
What do you think of the Black Country Museum?
that sounds ideal. Yeah, that's great. Also, this is just a suggestion. I ain't saying we should do, but it's the Lichfield Bower. The Bower is a medieval festival, and they have all street vendors, and it's carnival basically. It's great. It runs
Sounds
over a
good.
weekend, and that's
right.
only in about a month's time, something like that, perhaps. Something like that. That's a nice thing to visit. That one is
And with the Black Country Museum, it's oldie worldy.
Black Country
There
Museum.
are like
yeah.
old-fashioned, genuine type of
Oh, you wouldn't
fish
get
and
bored.
chips
You wouldn't get bored there,
and
would you?
pubs
No.
and different things. They all have filmed bits of this Peaky Blinders things there, I think. I've never seen that, but
What they do, they take old buildings down, don't they, and they transport them and reassemble them to recreate a Victorian. It's a bit like Beamish, something like that, you know. But you've got old shops, old school. You've got a mine. You've got a Newcomen atmospheric engine and old buses, old charabancs, and I think they've got a steam train. Canal boats, definitely. Go on the coast. Yeah, it's a good place.
we will give it thought, and once we've arranged something, we'll put the date out and invite people to make their way and to come. So with that, be seeing you.
God bless.